Welcome to this gentle yoga class where we focus on opening and lengthening the front line and the hip flexors. So if you'd like to have a blanket out on your mat, that can be quite nice. And we'll start on our bellies. So bring your forehead to your hands and just wiggle your hips here. Then everything out. Take a few breaths into the belly, anywhere from 3 to 5, depending on your pace. Let that front line expand with your breath and release on the exhale. And as your last inhale. Then as you exhale, start to slide that left leg up to the side. You might even turn your gaze to it and slide it along. Opposite way, right leg comes out to the side and then lengthen it long. You might let the head roll side to side as along with the leg. Might keep it centered. Another option is to come up on the forearms. You could stay with that or come up on the forearms and do the same thing. That left leg will come out, maybe even look to the foot. And that right leg will come out. You look to the foot. Just a few like this. And to really get into the somatic awareness, it's nice to keep the eyes closed a lot. With my brain injury, I'm a little sensitive to light. And because it's getting so dark outside, I have to have lights on now. So I'm keeping my eyes closed quite a bit. Last time. And then come into Sphinx. Let's play with the neck a little here. Tuck the chin. And look up if you can. And head bows. And look up. Just a few more. One more time, bow the head. Look up as you inhale. Perhaps even come under the hands if you have it, if you have the space in your lower back, inhale. And exhale, stick with the tongue as you lower all the way down. Bend those knees. Windshield washer the legs side to side, those shins, rather. Then from here, ground the shins back down. Let's slide those hands closer toward the shoulders or the upper ribs so we can press ourselves up into a tabletop. Just a few cat cows here or cat tilts. Re-round and arch. One more time around. Arch. Before you find neutral. And let's step forward with that right leg. Hands down on the earth or on a set of blocks here. We'll come forward with the chest. Broaden across the clavicles. As you exhale, lengthen that lead leg, flex through the toes. And then come forward again into that lengthener for those hip flexors and then back. Just a few like this. When you come back, try to send the hips directly behind you. Last time, come forward. And pause here. You might need to creep that knee, that left knee further back behind you. Inhale. As you exhale, bring that back knee directly underneath that hip. Everything's in alignment here, front knee in alignment with the ankle, and arms can come up if you wish. So you're in a 90-90 here. Inhale, and exhale to rotate toward that right lead leg. Arms reach up and rotate open to the left. Again, switch sides. Last one. Then reach that right arm up. Maybe you arc the spine slightly here as you pause. Or inhale. And then exhale to bring those hands down to frame the front foot and lift the back knees off, or back knee off the earth for a moment and rock forward and back on those toes. You might return it to the earth. Hands come to the inseam of the lead leg. And let's play a little bit here. Allow that right knee to come open to the side. And just see how the groins feel here. 2 more breaths. More inhale and exhale. If you want to add on, next inhale, rotate toward the bent lead leg. And then plant that hand right back down. Come onto the sole of the right foot. Just pause again. And then hug that right knee in a little tighter toward you and just see what effect that has on the stretch or on the pose. Might strengthen a little bit. More inhale. And then exhale to lengthen that leg behind you and return to the belly. Take that left hand underneath the forehead, bend the right knee, and clasp that same ankle, the same hand. And press that quad into the earth, that pelvis. Inhale here. And exhale. And then come into your half bow if you wish to lift the torso or lift the head. And press that hand into foot, foot into hand, or into ankle rather. And lower back down. Lengthen the arms and the legs in this posture of surrender. And let's bend the knees and crisscross the ankles or the shins. Pause and low those shins toward the right. See how that feels in the front of the leg. And in the hip socket. And to the opposite side. And again, ground the shins, slide the hands in so you can prop yourself into that tabletop once more. This time, let's make circles with the hips. So barrel roll here. It's like you're tracing the inside of a barrel. Reverse. And then pause and take the left leg forward. On the fingertips or hands on blocks, lift through the heart. And exhale to glide those hips back as you flex through the left toes. And come forward and back. It's a few times. You can always stay in the lunge if that's better. One more time, come forward. And then adjust yourself so you're in a 90-90 position with the knees, ankles, and hips. Arms can sweep up as you rotate toward the lead leg. Arms can open, and then torso returns to center as the arms reach up and rotate toward your right. Arms lift, rotate left, and come to center and rotate the opposite way. One more round on each side. Last time to your right. Stay there and reach through those left fingertips. Back bend here. Doesn't have to be big. And then frame the front foot as you come off of that back knee and rock forward and back. Lower the back shin once more as the hands walk to the inseam of the lead leg for lizard. Another breath in. As you exhale, this time let's start with the squeeze. Squeeze that left thigh in just a little and see how that changes the pose for you. Or inhale. And as you exhale, blade that left foot, come onto the outside of the foot. How does this feel? Just notice as you ground that back shin, as you press through the hands, and find ease in the breath. Inhale here. And exhale, ha. One more inhale. And then rotate toward that left leg. Hand could come to the thigh, or that left hand could reach for the sky. One more inhale. And exhale to return the hand to the earth and come fully onto the left foot. And from here, slide the leg back as we did before and lower, lower, lower onto the belly. One little Sphinx or Cobra. And lower again. And that right hand will come underneath the forehead as we bend that left knee. Clasp ankle with that same left hand. And press the front of the leg down. Or inhale here. And exhale, ha. Inhale. And then lift the torso up. Press hand into ankle, ankle into hand, half bow. And lower back down. Both hands come back toward the toes, lengthen them out, lift through the torso. If you wish, you could also lift the feet. Locust. Lower down, and perhaps clasp opposite ankles and lift into full bow. Maybe stick out the tongue and come back down. And then roll onto your back. Unless you prefer to stay on your belly. Start Savasana a little early. Or arch that lower back and then imprint the lower back. Arch as you inhale and exhale to imprint. Feel the tilt of the pelvis. Instead of the arch, you could also just come to neutral and then take the tuck. Just a few more. Last one, arch, imprint, and then peel the spine off the earth. The arms could come overhead. And then circle the arms around and press the palms down into the earth. Just get a little further opening here through the front line to engage the glutes and lower the hips. Let's take the knees together and heel toe, the feet to the outside edges of the mat to release tension through the pelvic floor. And see if you can sense your breath all the way down to the perineum, all the way down to the pelvic floor as you inhale and it releases toward the toes. And exhale, pulls in just gently. Again, inhale, let the pelvic floor descend to the toes. Feel all the diaphragms, and exhale to release. Continue with this breath. Just a few more here. And then from here, lengthen out those shins. So circle the shins round. So the legs are long. And then bring the heels together and slide the heels toward you with the knees bent. Let the legs open up in cobblers. And you might take your savasana in this cobblers today. Here we can engage in a sniff breath if you'd like. Inhale a little, inhale a little more, and a final sip of air. And exhale through the mouth. You could just let the tongue be soft or inhale, sniff, sniff a little more, final little inhale, and tongue can go to the roof of the mouth as you exhale. So try the sniff breath, pausing anywhere along the breath that you wish, and deciding if you want the tongue to the roof of the mouth or just to soften it. Feel free to go as slow as you wish. Pauses don't have to be evenly distributed along the inhale. Finish your last round before you return to long, deep breathing. Ah. Take those hands and close your knees like a book. And pause. You might Lift your bottom slightly and take your hands underneath your bottom. You might lengthen out the legs as you press onto the forearms, and you might creep. My arms are so long, they need to be further than underneath my glutes. And then roll one shoulder underneath and then the other. And see if you can just kind of lift through the heart space, puff up through the heart. Maybe even lengthen to the front of the neck. In a moderated fish pose. One more inhale. And exhale to release those hands from under the glutes and or thighs. You might choose a knee hug or a long body stretch, whatever serves, before you roll into your favorite side. To press yourself up to seated. Roll the shoulders a few times. Or you lift your gaze and the arms overhead and bring those hands to your heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. Sat Nam.